Hello, I'm Jeremy, and welcome back to Jeremy U's Music Reviews. I listen to music and you hear my thoughts. I like Oliver Tree. The dude has a very unique style and has made some legit great songs like Hurt, Let Me Down, Alien Boy, Bury Me Alive, and Life Goes On. However, this year, Tree decided to switch up his surreal style by making a country album entitled Cowboy Tears. Did that switch up work? Well, that's what we're here to find out. This is Cowboy Tears. This is a pretty cool cover. It shows Oliver Tree in cowboy garb riding his cool mechanical bull on a western background with other cowboys shooting at him. It's a very attention-grabbing image that fits the aesthetic of the album, and like Vessel and Everything Means Nothing, the cover has a really cool backside. All in all, a really good cover that makes me excited to dive in.
I'm not good at goodbyes. I miss the sunshine in your eyes. Who said cowboys don't cry?
The album starts out with its lead single, Cowboys Don't Cry. And my God, is it a great introduction. Let's start with the production, and it's pretty good. It's a mashup of Tree's production style and country music aspects that, while not amazing, does work for what it's trying to accomplish. I can understand someone finding it boring, but I personally think it's really relaxing, catchy, and a good introduction to Tree's new country sound. And those guitars at the end sound really nice. Oliver Tree also sounds great. I really like Tree as a vocalist, and his squeaky voice really works well for the type of song that Cowboys Don't Cry is trying to be, as it really adds to the emotional weight of the lyrics. All in all, a very good performance. And the lyrics are good too. They describe Oliver's pain over his failed relationship in a unique way, taking Tree's quirky lyricism and adding a country feel to them, fitting both vibes seamlessly. Cowboys Don't Cry is a really good song. The production is great, Tree sounds good, and the lyrics are really interesting, and a great mashup of two styles. It was a great introduction to Oliver's new country style and a great start to this album.
If this is it, it's a swing and a miss. Yeah. If this is it, it's a swing and a miss. Yeah.
Swing and a Miss is a very nice vibe. The production is really relaxing and soothing, with a nice strumming guitar, soft electronic flares, and really cool drums. Like Cowboys Don't Cry, it's very simple production that does a good job giving the song atmosphere. Tree's performance is also really good. His voice combines with the country-esque production to further support the relaxing vibe of the song. And like Life Goes On, it has a very vibey quality to it that really makes the song feel interesting. A very good performance for a very good song. And the lyrics are good too. They have that unique Oliver Tree flair and have a bit of a country song vibe, doing a good job of combining both vibes into one nice sentiment. All in all, very good lyrics. Swing and a Miss is a very good song. The production is nice, Oliver sounds great, and the lyrics are very interesting. Definitely an album highlight.
I really miss you, I'm so sorry I can't fix now. What can I do? I hope you get well soon.
Get Well Soon is another really good song. The production is very relaxing and soothing, with very soft guitars and some really cool electronic elements. It has a very soft, relaxing, and comforting vibe that really makes Get Well Soon feel very immersive. All in all, great production. Tree also sounds great. His voice is very emotional and passionate, gelling with the soft production to make the song sound very interesting. And I also love the spoke step utilized after the chorus. Spoke step is an awesome musical convention that I love to see utilized, and Tree does it pretty well. An enjoyably soft, relaxing, and emotional performance that really makes the song pop. The lyrics are also very interesting. They have Oliver Tree's unique style and shows the de-evolution of a relationship in an interesting way. Short, but very well written and interesting lyrics. Get Well Soon is really good. Despite its short length, the good production, nice vocals, and interesting lyrics make Get Well Soon a very enjoyable song. Not the best song on the album, but really good nonetheless.
Problems I'm sinning, but I'm a savior. They gonna love ya until they hate ya.
Freaks and Geeks was the second single before the release of this album, and it's easily one of my favorite songs from it. The production is really fun and infectious, with a nice banjo, some cool electronic sounds, and a really toe-tapping guitar. It feels like a song that would play in a Napoleon Dynamite-esque indie film, which really fits Tree's aesthetic and makes the song stand out in an interesting way. Pretty solid and enjoyable production. Tree also sounds great. I've heard some people criticize his voice on this song, and I understand why. It is very squeaky and rough, but in my opinion, it works with the song. Tree's rough voice does a good job combining with the relaxed and infectious vibe of the song, and it really gives Freaks and Geeks a cathartic vibe. All in all, a very good performance. And the lyrics are great too. They're very unique, quirky, interesting, and really make Freaks and Geeks stand out. It's fascinating to see Tree grapple with the concept that both everyone and no one is unique, as it's a very interesting subject for a song and really resonates with me. Really good lyrics. Freaks and Geeks is a really good song. The production is great, Tree's vocals are enjoyable, and the lyrics are very fascinating. I get why some people might hate this song, but Freaks and Geeks is definitely an album highlight.
How much can a person do? It's everybody else's fault but you. And I've seen the way you react. You kick me around like a pile of trash.
Doormat is easily my favorite song on the album. The production is incredibly toe-tapping and relaxing. There's cool guitar strings, nice electronic drums, enjoyable finger snaps, and an incredibly catchy groove that really makes the song feel infectious. Easily my favorite production of the album. Tree also sounds fantastic. His voice has a sing-songy vibe that really works with the production to make the song sound incredible. An absolutely fantastic vocal performance that makes a good song feel even better. But what really makes Doormat a good song is the lyrics. They describe Oliver being sick of being in a toxic relationship where he's being walked all over like a doormat. Sure, this might not exactly be the most original subject for a song, but it's still a very good subject, and Tree captures this subject really well. His unique writing style captures the anger he feels towards his toxic partner, and you can really feel the emotion that Tree carries. Pretty interesting lyrics for a really good song. Like I said, Doormat is my favorite song on Cowboy Tears. The production is phenomenal, Tree sounds good, and the lyrics are very interesting. I don't know if I'd list Doormat as one of my top 10 Oliver Tree songs, but it's easily my favorite song of the album and a track I definitely recommend checking out.
We don't care what you earn. Take your money, let it burn. Laugh it off, what a joke. Watch it burning up in smoke.
Suitcase Full of Cash is a really cool song. The production is really good, having some really toe-tapping instrumentals, a nice and relaxed vibe, cool walkie-talkie vocal samples, and some really cool guitars. It manages to perfectly hit that balance between catchy and relaxing in a very satisfying way. Simple, but very effective. Tree also sounds good. While his performance isn't as theatrical or distinct as other performances on this album, it still works in the song's favor. Tree's relaxed vocals combine with the production to make Suitcase Full of Cash feel very calming. It's a very solid performance that works for what the song is trying to be. And the lyrics are alright. While these lyrics aren't the strongest on the album, they're still pretty good. Tree uses his unique lyricism to display how we don't need to obsess over money and put it on a pedestal. I especially like the line, "Some people are so poor that all they have is money." It's a very good lyric that really hits. Suitcase Full of Cash is a pretty good song. The production is really good, Tree's vocals are solid, and the lyrics are very interesting. Another really great song.
Well, darling, I'll smoke until the day that I'm dead. Well, darling, we both know how it's going to end.
Cigarettes is okay. Let's start with the production, and it's fine. It's a little on the generic side with just a strumming guitar and some occasional drums, but on a musical level, it's fine. There's not really a lot to say about this production, as it's pretty bare bones, but not enough to be bad. It's just alright production. As for Tree, he sounds pretty good. His voice has a lot of bounce and works well with the production. It also feels very sing-songy, which really works for the song's sound and is overall pretty good. An alright vocal performance overall. Finally, the lyrics. These lyrics are okay. Like the title suggests, Cigarettes is about Tree's struggle with smoking, and for the most part, they're pretty good lyrics. Tree's unique lyricism is 100% on full display, and for the most part, these lyrics are pretty effective. It's just not as lyrically distinct as some of the other songs on this album. Cigarettes is an alright song. The production is solid, Tree sounds good, and the lyrics are fine. It's just not as distinct or memorable as the other songs. Still a good song, but not one of the album's strongest.
I'm here for the ride, like a balloon in the sky. Watch me float up way too high. You won't see me in your life.
Balloon Boy is pretty good. The production is very solid, with some enjoyable guitar strings, nice percussion, and an acoustic vibe that does a good job separating Balloon Boy from other songs in this album. Very solid production all around. Tree also sounds great. His voice does a good job matching the acoustic vibe of the song. It's very soft and soothing, yet still feels infectious and unusual enough to fit with the rest of the album. Not Tree's best vocal performance, but still really good. As for the lyrics, they're also really good. Despite the song's dark material and Tree admitting that it's the saddest one to him, the lyrics to Balloon Boy have a very comforting vibe that makes the song feel very soothing. They give the feeling of leaving one place and heading to uncertainty, making Balloon Boy feel less sad and more introspective and looking towards the future. Pretty good lyrics. Balloon Boy is a very good song. The production is solid, Tree sounds nice, and the lyrics are very interesting. An enjoyable song for an enjoyable album.
Darling, that's on you. I miss the things we used to do. Darling, that's on you.
Things We Used to Do is very nice. Like Balloon Boy, the production has an acoustic vibe, with very warbled guitars, nice trap percussion, and a real toe-tapping groove. It's very solid production-wise and makes for a very enjoyable listen. Tree also sounds really good. His voice is very emotional, fitting with the low-key vibe of the song to make a very satisfying sound. Like Suitcase Full of Cash, it's not one of his most unique performances, but it's still an enjoyable one. The lyrics are good too. They're a very interesting showing of Tree reminiscing about things he used to do with a former lover, and they have Tree's unique charm. Pretty good lyrics all around. While it's not one of the most distinct songs on the album, Things We Used to Do is still a solid song, with nice production, solid vocals, and really good lyrics. Not bad, Tree. Not bad.
California, that's where I lived my whole life.
California seems to be one of the more hated tracks from Cowboy Tears. And while I get why, I still think it's pretty good. The production is very solid, with very bold acoustic guitars and nice trap percussion. It feels like what Cigarettes was going for, but a little more memorable and unique. Very nice production. Tree's performance is also good. I definitely see why some people don't vibe with Tree on this song, as his voice is a tad obnoxious, but in my opinion, it's not really enough to make the song intolerable. It adds to the emotion of the song and makes California stick out in a good way. An overall solid performance. The lyrics are nice as well. The song is about Tree reflecting on his home state of California, and it's handled very well. Tree's unique writing style does a good job of showing the nostalgia and sentimentality he feels towards California, and as such, it does a good job of roping the audience into the vibe of the song. Really great lyrics. California is a really good song. The production is nice, the lyrics are great, and while his voice isn't perfect, Tree does a solid job. I get why it might not be some people's cup of tea, but I think California is really good. Thumbs up from me.
But baby, don't call me a liar. Watch me while I'm playing with fire. Dancing butt naked on a telephone wire.
Playing with fire is pretty cool. The production has a sinister, atmospheric vibe, with some subtle guitar strings, muted trap production, and a very catchy rhythm. Playing with Fire's production does a good job setting up a really cool and unique atmosphere. It's very simple production, but manages to give off a really good impression. Very nice production. Oliver Tree also sounds good. His voice is very gruff and sing-songy, really fitting with the atmosphere and feeling very distinct from his other performances. It really leans into the country side of this album and is overall very unique and enjoyable. A really good performance. And the lyrics are cool as well. They're very unique, interesting, and fit with both Tree's motif and the country theme of the album. The way these lyrics show Oliver's cockiness and how it slowly blows up in his face is very interesting and makes the lyrical content really stand out. Not the best lyrics of the album, but still really enjoyable. Playing with Fire is a very solid song. The production is really cool, Tree sounds pretty good, and the lyrics are very interesting. It's not a very complex song, but it's very enjoyable and cool. Definitely an album highlight.
I'm not a villain. I'm not a bad guy with a master plan. I'm not a monster.
The Villain is a really enjoyable tune. The production has a very breezy, sing-songy vibe with some really infectious strings and a bit of a rock vibe that really accentuates the emotion in the song. It really captures the emotion Tree is feeling and manages to convey the downward spiral that he's going through in a very interesting way. Really good production all around. Tree is also absolutely fantastic. His voice is incredibly emotional and heartfelt, gelling with the production to make the Villain really pop. You can really feel the sadness and passion in Tree's voice, and it does a great job investing the viewer into the song. The lyrics are also really good. They paint a very interesting picture of how Tree is seen as a monster or an evil person in his relationship, even though he's just trying to do the right thing. It's a very relatable sentiment, as we all try to do the right thing, but sometimes it can blow up in our faces, and Tree's lyrics do a good job of capturing that feeling. Really great stuff. The Villain is a really cool song. The production is really nice and fits with the vibe of the song. Oliver Tree sounds really good, and the lyrics paint a very interesting picture. Definitely an album highlight, and a good showing of the good elements this album has.
Cowboy tears. It's okay to cry. Cowboy tears.
And so we end Cowboy Tears with the 13th and final track, which just so happens to be the title track. And it's a pretty good way to end the album. The production is really enjoyable, with a rollicking guitar and some enjoyably intense trap sounds. It really gives the song some gravitas and ends the album with an absolute bang. A very atmospheric and punchy sound. Tree also sounds fantastic. Like in The Villain, Tree's vocal delivery is very passionate, with a lot of emotion and intensity that does a good job of wrapping you up in the song. His voice is very intense and energetic, really blending with the production to make an enjoyable tune. Really great vocals. As for the lyrics, they're very interesting. I'm not going to go full in detail on these lyrics as they're about some pretty dark stuff, but they're pretty well written. And you can really see the emotion and detail that Oliver puts in. Pretty good lyrics all around. Cowboy Tears, the song, is a very interesting, atmospheric, and cool song with awesome production, nice vocals, and lyrics that manage to capture some pretty dark stuff very well. Not the best song on the album, again, that would be Doormat, but it's certainly deserving of having the album named after it, and it's a pretty good finale. Cowboy Tears is a very solid sophomore album. While some of the songs do blend together sonically, and it definitely pales in comparison to Ugly is Beautiful, I still had a good time with Cowboy Tears. Tree does a really good job embracing his new country persona, and when the album hits, it definitely hits. I can see why this album might rub people the wrong way, and it's definitely not Tree's best work, but it still gets a thumbs up from me. I don't know what's next for Oliver Tree, but whatever it is, I hope he's doing all right, and I hope whatever he makes next, be it a film, an album, or something else entirely, is just as good as his other stuff. And that's it. Comment your thoughts on Cowboy Tears and Oliver Tree, and tune in for more content when I make it. Till then, this is Jeremy, ending our broadcast day.